Okay, so last video, for some reason, my microphone clicked off while I was doing it, so this one has sound. So I was sitting here talking to myself for no reason at all. Okay, so what I want to do is, let's get rid of the history. I want to attach the hand to the arm, finish it out, and maybe see if I can get the leg done as well. If I look, I've got 20 edges here, and here I've got 12. I've got to reduce the amount of geometry on this. So, if I go in here and I grab this edge and this edge, I'm just going to collapse them. And I'm just going to hit G and keep collapsing a few of these. And that's a good spot. Delete. I could maybe, actually, let's just hold on a second, let's do it there. Delete that. Okay, so now what have I got? That's 18. So if I go over here, I'll do the same thing. G. Okay, I almost like it better up there, but whatever. Okay, for now, that'll be fine. Now what I'm at? 16. Let's go down in here. And I'll do the collapsing here. I'm going to leave it there. Okay, and delete. And, whoop. What have I got here for edges, actually? 14. And... on, you bastard. There, and I'll just hit G. Okay, and just take that and delete it. And now I should have 12. So I've just basically been kiting. Okay, I call these kites. Some people call them different things. Again, I could collapse this up further if I wanted to. Okay, and sometimes it's kind of nice to actually go in and make these edges in here, kind of twirl them around so they kind of follow the pads, and also your kind of natural palm, the palm reader lines, lifeline, and all that crap, right? It can look nice. But I'm not going to get too involved in that. Now I've got this, I'm happy and I know it. And... okay, and now I can take these two pieces here, and I can quickly go to Mesh, Combine, delete my history, and let's see, we can do this a couple different ways. I think the fastest way is to go in and take this edge loop and this edge loop, and use the bridge. Okay, and if I don't like how this line here is working, I can go in and hit average vertices. Okay, and I can insert more edge loops if I want to, or I can even just take that edge and just get rid of it for now. Damn it. There. Now with the arm, just think about how long this is. It'll be okay. His shoulders seem a bit big now that I'm looking at it. And let's go to, say, the top view. So, flip to the top view. And I'm just going to grab my cut tool and I'll just cut from here to here. And then if I go and I grab my move tool, this can be my elbow. And it's nice to have your elbow so it's a little bit bent. Okay. Actually going to pull that in. Yeah, I'm pulling this back a little bit. Okay, cool. And then I can go in and say, well, we need something here. Okay, to support bending the elbow, and maybe here. And I can go in and modify these a little bit. Move tool, kind of take this area kind of butts in a little bit, and let's go back over here to the perspective view. Okay, and actually, typically, it's a bit wider in this area, and it kind of narrows down a bit near the base. Here, I'm just going to grab my scale tool, bring this in a bit. Take these two, scale them up a little bit. Okay, this is where it's going to bend though. And I can start to, let's take this edge loop here. You bastard! Something weird about when I get too close to the tool. It doesn't want to let me select when I double click when I'm trying to go for an edge loop. Don't know what that's about. Okay, and then I can keep adding more edge loops in. boop, boop, and start to, you know, change the shape and sculpt it out. Actually, that's looking kind of weird right there. I'll come back to that in a second. And one other thing here, if I go in and I can have insert edge loop, right? Insert edge loop is going to kind of go in and change the geometry flow a little bit. Maybe I didn't want that. But when I take one of these edges and I do this edge ring and split and it goes in the middle, you can switch it here from relative to multi, and you can put in a few more at once. Okay. And here, if I go to vertices, then I can use my move normal tool. And that might be too much. And then if I take these ones and I use average vertices, automatically it converts them. And I could spend some time noodling around with those, but I'm a lazy guy. I'm always looking for shortcuts. Just going to take that edge loop there, and I'm going to hit soft selection. If I hold down B and I middle click, I can change the drop off as I go. And let's do something like that. And again, I'm going to sculpt this afterwards, so not major, but this is going to give me a nice kind of deformation here if I decide to have him naked for whatever reason. And that would be funny. I don't think... Actually, no, there is a picture of him floating around on the internet naked, isn't there? Okay, so I've got my body. What time am I at? 6. And some of this, when I start looking down here, this area is looking a bit, congested. Okay, with some of my edges and everything here. I'm just going to turn off soft selection. Okay, so let's grab some edge loops, and I'm just going to get rid of that one. Damn it. I'll just hit G, get rid of a few of these, because it just seemed like there's too many. You can also do this one, the edge ring and collapse, right there. Okay, great. I can put some more back in later on if I feel like I need it. But right here, we're getting this nasty kind of cat's ass right here. There's too many edges coming in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out a bunch of these. So there's kind of, that's the middle one there. I'm going to leave that alone. Take these. Actually, I just got to check, did I get any extras? Nope. I just went and I looked where the center of the tool was, and I rotated it to make sure I didn't get anything up top for some whatever reason. Okay, so that's looking better. Well, not yet, but you know what I mean. I can take this and go from here to here to here. This one looks good for going from there to there. And then as I approach this, how about... damn it. Freaking phone. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, I'm back. And let's go from here to, say, here. Okay, good. And... oh, I got a pause. Okay, so I'm back. I had to take a little hiatus for a moment or two. And I'm just horsing around here a little bit with these vertices. And you know what I'm going to do right here? Just before I get too involved in this and kind of get the leg in, let's just double check something. In my front view, I think, yes, I'm correct. Let's hit 4 to go in a wireframe. You can see my edges aren't lined up perfectly because I was horsing around and whatever. Got the move tool on. If I just hold down X, I should be able to snap them all so they're right on the grid. Okay. And I would just like to relax the bottom end of this a little bit. Let's get rid of all that. Get rid of the history. And if I do a quick shift mirror, there. And I think my threshold, merge threshold, is sitting at 0.001, so nothing funny should have happened. And let's just go back here, and you can see some vertices that are kind of, you know, funny here and there. And I'll just kind of go and hit my paint, sculpt, and let's see, what's the way to do this? Is there a hotkey way to do this? What about the stroke? If I hold down Q? No. What if I hold down, because I'm on this, what if I hold down Y? No. Actually, what if I'm on my utility? So if I hold down U, There it is. Reflection. Boop! Ha ha! Okay, so I can just go in and relax out some of these parts. I'll make my brush bigger. Okay, later on I will get this in ZBrush, like I keep saying, but I just kind of want to go and see what happens if I'm using Relax, and particularly what I want to do is get the bottom end down here. Okay, and see how I relax that, and everything becomes kind of more of equal size. There was kind of a big concentration of faces there that were bothering me. And... okay, so that's kind of looking happier. This is kind of not crazy about that, but whatever, it'll work for now. What about the back of the head? I've already been spending a lot of time playing around with this stuff and tweaking it. I could do a better job back here, but we'll leave that for now. Okay. I'm calling that good enough. Okay, cool. And then I'm just going to go back and I'm going to get rid of this half. Take this one, hold down Shift, double click, delete, delete. Okay, and I'm going to stick a leg in here, and I was thinking, let's see, if I go and I look, where do I want my leg? I'm going to take these faces here, and there's 4 by 4 by 3 by 3, so 6 and 8, 14. I can have 14, or if I went up here I would have 16, but then that kind of looks weird. Okay, I'm just going to delete that out. And then if I go in and I create myself a brand new polygon cylinder, front view. Oh, that's weird. Okay, and let's just go and make this big. And when I make that big, I can scale it out and kind of get an idea what I want for a leg. If I hold down D and V, I can change the pivot point, so it's here. So when I'm scaling, I'm not scaling from the center. And something like that. Let's see how that looks. Actually, okay, and I'm just going to bring the sections down. So instead of 20, let's do 14. Okay, sometimes I like 6 or 12 or something like that, but for some reason this is kind of in the center, and that seems to work out better. Actually, what is it? That looks kind of obnoxious right there. I'm just going to go and hit soften edge. Okay, and my video. Okay, good. Double checking on something. And then if I go in here and I grab these faces here and I just delete them. Okay, so 14 is good. Then I can take this piece and we'll go mesh, combine, and I'll go in here and I'll take these edges here and these ones here, and we'll do a quick bridge. Okay, and maybe with the bridge here, what if I go in and I grab the vertices in this area? Okay, so I grabbed all those, and actually, just hold on a second. Before I do that, let's move this up a little bit so it's right there, and I'll try that trick again. See if that works. Did I select anything extra? Nope. Just going to grab those vertices, and I'm going to hit that paint tool again. So if I right-click, then I go to paint, then I go to sculpt. And I can just go and find, I've got the relax brush on, I can just hit flood a few times. And that didn't really do what I was hoping it would do. Just undo that. Or you can even do the thing where right here there's the erase, and you just hit it with flood and it erases it back to where you started. As long as you don't deselect the object or turn the tool off for a second, you can erase it. So I'm looking at this thing here. And if I go and I rotate it like this, give it a nice angle when I pull it up, and let's pull this out a bit. Okay, and I'm going to move this in a bit. Move the leg in just a tiny bit, and we'll try that again. So I go in here. I'm going to hold down, first off I'll deselect those ones, and then if I hold down Shift when I do this, it'll invert the selection. So it leaves that alone. And then I'm going to go back to that paint, and I'm going to try flooding it again. And, oh, I got the eraser on, so flood, 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 flood. Okay, and maybe that looks better. I might have to do some pushing and pulling and stuff like that, blending that in. That'll be okay. And let's get the foot on. We'll do that in the next video, I guess. So I'll stop here.